one of NBC's most famous anchors, is now under the microscope in the nation's latest sexual assault lawsuit.
And this week in tech, Apple's hole in their security and what is being done about it.
And the royal engagement, an American princess in a British castle.
December, Orange County. I'm Matt Peterson.
And I'm Alexis Rodriguez, and welcome to Chapman News.
Breaking as we come on air, Trump's former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, has pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about conversations with Russian ambassador last December. ABC News is going one step further, reporting that the president directed Flynn to contact the Russians. This is a bad sign for the White House, alluding to the ongoing speculation that there was Russian collusion in the 2016 election. In a statement this morning, Flynn said, "My guilty plea in agreement to cooperate with the special counsel's office reflect a decision I made in my best interest of my family and our country. I accept full responsibility for my actions." No comment has been made from the White House.
Matt Lauer, who was fired from the Today Show this week, finally offered an apology. Here's what he said, and I quote, "Some of what is being said about me is untrue or mischaracterized, but there is enough truth in these stories to make me feel embarrassed and ashamed. To the people I have hurt, I am truly sorry." NBC News fired Lauer on Wednesday after a complaint was filed by an employee for inappropriate sexual behavior. Since then, a number of other women have come forward with complaints about his behavior. Variety and the New York Times had been working on long-term investigations into Lauer, which they were about to publish when Lauer was fired. Lauer had recently signed a new 2-year, $20 million contract in 2016 that secured his position on anchor on the show until 2018. NBC's chairman Andrew Lack was quoted in a memo to employees saying that Lauer's actions were a clear violation of our company's standards and prompted serious review. This news comes just 2 weeks after CBS fired This Morning anchor Charlie Rose after sexual harassment allegations. Lauer's co-anchor Savannah Guthrie found out about the firing just minutes before the show. Here's how she reacted.
As I'm sure you can imagine, we are devastated and we are still processing all of this. And I will tell you right now, we do not know more than what I just shared with you. But we will be covering this story as reporters, as journalists. I'm sure we will be learning more details in the hours and days to come. And we promise we will share that with you. And Hoda, I mean, you know, for the moment, all we can say is that we are heartbroken. I'm heartbroken for Matt. He is my dear, dear friend and my partner, and he is beloved by many, many people here. And I'm heartbroken for the brave colleague who came forward to tell her story and any other women who have their own stories to tell. And we are grappling with a dilemma that so many people have faced these past few weeks. How do you reconcile your love for someone with the revelation that they have behaved badly? And I don't know the answer to that. But I do know that this reckoning that so many organizations have been going through is important. It's long overdue, and it must result in workplaces where all women, all people feel safe and respected. As painful as it is this moment in our culture, and this change had to happen.
Yeah, it did. This is a very tough morning.
No permanent replacement for Lauer has yet been named. The latest person accused in the sexual assault scandal is hip-hop mogul Russell Simmons, who founded Def Jam Records. He is accused by screenwriter Jenny Lumet by forcing her to have sex with him in 1991.
Bowing to political pressure, the United Methodist Church in Malibu has put a halt on its weekly meal program to feed the homeless. Frequent organizers of the program say that Malibu officials voiced a concern after having received public safety complaints. In addition to the cancellation of their weekly program, the church was also receiving pressure from the city to shut down their Thanksgiving dinner because of concerns regarding the dozen of homeless people that would go there, including many from outside communities. Here's what Paul Joseph, one of the supervisors of the Thanksgiving program, had to say.
My experience with the event has been nothing but positive. I haven't had one incident in all the years. I've been doing it now for about 10 years. And there's never been an incident with the police. There's never been a problem. If a group does come on a bus, then they are put back on the bus and taken back to their homes or their area, wherever that is, which is probably outside of Malibu. But we do service some of those people for Thanksgiving, but there's never stragglers that just hang around and cause problems. I've never seen any of that.
The weekly program has been going on for years now, and volunteers at the United Methodist often serve as many as 100 meals each week to the homeless. The mayor of this wealthy community says the city never forced the program to end, but he does have serious concerns that homeless people from around LA County are taking buses to Malibu for free meals.
It sounds like you just don't want these people here. Let's just move them to the next town.
No, not at all. We're doing a better job of getting them resources, and we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to get better at it.
City officials claim they already work with 2 full-time outreach works that help connect the homeless with their health service and shelter programs, but they aren't handing out meals. Organizers of the United Methodist program say their dinners provide a vital connection to the city that you cannot duplicate.
Some travelers may be out of luck this holiday season. An American Airlines computer error has allowed too many pilots to schedule time off during the upcoming Christmas season, creating a potential pilot shortage for what is expected to be one of the busiest holidays in years for the airline industry. The airline carrier hopes to avoid canceling flights during the holiday period by calling in reserve pilots and offering other pilots 150% of their salaries to return during the time they have been approved for vacation. During Thanksgiving, an estimated 28.5 million passengers flew on U.S.-based carriers, and the airline industry is bracing for an even bigger surge this Christmas. Christmas came early for the Chapman community due to the new opportunities for parking. Alana Williams and Brenny Seipolt have the details.
The parking problems of Chapman University may be solved, at least until August. The First Christian Church parking lot located at 1130 East Walnut has 100 spaces that will be leased to students and staff until August 10, 2018. These parking spots are a bargain. The Chapman permit holders can opt to exchange their current parking permit for this new pass and receive a full refund for any fees paid for the 2017-2018 permit, making their pass free. But there's a catch. Students who opt for the church permit will be restricted to the First Christian Church lot Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., but can park in regular Chapman areas after 4 p.m. and all day Friday through Sunday. We asked fellow students for their opinion on the new parking pass.
Absolutely, because even though you can't come on campus until after 4, it still gives you a guaranteed spot during the daytime, and then you still have the ability to come to campus later on depending on your schedule.
The parking lot is about a 20-minute walk to campus, so school shuttles will be available during the week. Registration for the permit opened up this past Monday and is limited to the first 100 people who register.
Students who choose to opt for the church permit will be refunded in December.
Apple is calling for all of its users to update their Macs immediately due to a security hold found in the operating system this week. Robert Rosenfeld explains why this issue has gotten so much media attention on this week's Week in Tech.
If you have a Mac running the latest version of Apple's operating system, High Sierra, you need to update your computer right now. A developer revealed a major security hole in the Mac software earlier this week that would allow anyone to access your account and gain full access to your machine simply by using root as the username. The vulnerability affects all machines running High Sierra, and once logged in, the person would have access to all your files and could potentially change your password or encrypt your files and lock you out of your machine altogether. Apple issued a critical software update Wednesday morning that fixes the issue and recommends all users to update their machines as soon as possible. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai is moving forward with plans to repeal Obama-era net neutrality regulations, and it's causing an online uproar. Net neutrality is the idea that the internet is an information source that must be carried neutrally by internet service providers. It essentially means that big internet providers like Comcast and Time Warner Spectrum cannot charge you more or less for visiting certain websites or adjust the speed in which you access websites. If repealed, many feel the lack of regulation would lead to big service providers bundling websites similar to the way they do with television channels now. HD streaming services like Netflix and Hulu could become a separate charge on your bill altogether. The vote on whether or not to appeal these regulations is set to happen on December 14th. And it's been a week since the big shopping rush of Black Friday weekend, but tech companies are still feeling its effect and reportedly swimming in cash. Analysts predict that Apple may have sold 6 million iPhone Xs last weekend alone, with Amazon also reported to have sold millions of their Echo speakers and smart assistant devices. The biggest gadgets purchased? 4K TVs, the Google Home Mini, and the under $200 Xbox One S. If you missed out on the deep discounts, you won't have to wait until next year. Amazon's Prime Day features big savings on thousands of products and will be coming later this summer. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and that's The Week in Tech.
Coming up, everyone is heading home for the holidays, including great white sharks. We'll tell you why.
And Chapman students are spreading Christmas cheer in ways you'd never believe. Stay tuned.
Follow your dreams. Chapman University. Take your life to new heights. Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead. Follow your dreams. Chapman University. History, philosophy, peace studies, languages. Study abroad and explore the world. Become a global citizen. The Wilkinson College at Chapman University. Invest your humanity. Lead.
Welcome back to Chapman News. Juvenile great sharks are leaving the Southern California coast for the first time in years. From 2014 to 2016, juveniles skipped their normal migration patterns, preferring to stay in the warmer waters off of California because of El Nino. The increased number of sharks caused many beach closures due to various attacks and sightings. Now, after 2 years, these temperatures are cooling down, and sharks are on their way to Baja for the winter.
Alexis, have you ever wanted to go shark diving?
You know, I really like my arms and legs, so I think I'm good.
I mean, me too. I'm not to make myself sound like a wimp, but I'm kind of a wimp. The only thing that's kind of appealing is that they usually swim in warm water, and I hate being cold.
Yeah, well, me too. So it's a good thing that we live in Southern California. How's the weather looking, Jess?
Thanks, you too. Sorry, Matt. It looks like it's time to say adios to those sharks. Great whites are leaving Southern California for the first time in years in search of warmer water. El Nino conditions have previously raised temperatures off the coast of Southern California, but that is no mas. But it looks like this shark is in the holiday spirit, and so am I. It's December 1st, and you know what that means. It's time to blast Michael Bublé and wear my Santa hat. All things I've been doing since November, but at least now it's socially acceptable. It is quite literally the perfect day outside in Orange today, sunny and 75. But it looks like that's the hottest temperature we'll get all week, so go outside today and enjoy it while you can. Taking a look at the Orange County map, it might finally be time for us to whip out our sweaters, scarves, and boots. Inland temperatures are down 10 degrees from last week, and Laguna and Newport are cooling off to 66 and 64. The hottest temperature will be right here in Orange, so it might be a good idea to plan a little staycation. Now let's take a look at the rest of Southern California. We have LA, Santa Barbara, and Anaheim all in the mid-70s for the weekend, while Oceanside, Avalon, and San Diego remain chilly in the 60s. And if you're headed to Big Bear Lake this weekend, make sure you pack your Uggs because you will experience highs in the 50s and lows in the 30s. And yikes, I don't even know what that means. And if you hate the cold like I do, you can plan to escape to Palm Springs where the temperatures are still in the low 80s. And that's more like it. And like I mentioned earlier, the highest temperature will be today. So look forward to some cooler temperatures this weekend, starting at 75 degrees tomorrow, 72 degrees on Sunday and Monday, and 70 on Tuesday with lows all in the 50s. And if you're looking for something fun to do this afternoon, it looks like Disneyland is the go-to Friday night hangout spot. At a lovely 75 degrees, it's the perfect weather for walking around and enjoying the Christmas lights and fake snow. At least that's where I'll be. Now I'm out of battery, so it's to you in sports, Tim.
What's up, everybody? I'm Tim Wolf, and this is the Best Campus Sports Show. Been a few weeks, but we are finally back from Thanksgiving break. And what's a better way to help you make it to winter break than the best part of Chapman news? Don't answer that. We start off today's show with some big news in college football. UCLA couldn't even sniff the college football playoff if they wanted to, but they're making waves with a new hire. After taking a year off, Chip Kelly has now signed a 5-year, $23 million deal with the Bruins. The former Oregon Ducks, Philadelphia Eagles, and San Francisco 49ers head coach is officially their new head football coach. UCLA held a press conference to announce the hiring on Monday, where they introduced Kelly as the team's new leader, just over a week after the firing of their now former head coach, Jim Mora. Kelly is no stranger to the Pac-12 conference. He coached at the University of Oregon from 2007 to 2012, where he became the Ducks head coach in 2009 and led the Ducks to 3 consecutive Pac-12 championships. Kelly also brought the Ducks to a national championship game in 2010, where the Ducks were defeated by an Auburn team led by future NFL MVP Cam Newton. Kelly's stellar coaching reputation has taken a hit since he moved on to the NFL, where despite having back-to-back seasons with a 10-6 record, he finished with back-to-back firings after going 6-9 with the Eagles and 2-14 with the 49ers. Now that he's back in the NCAA and the Pac-12, we will see if Chip Kelly can use his famous spread offense to return to college football dominance. Tiger Woods is back on the green in a competitive manner this week as a participant in the Hero World Challenge. Competing against elite golfers such as Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler, Tiger shot a 69, which has him currently tied for 8th on the leaderboard. Woods has not played competitive golf in 301 days due to a 4th back surgery in April, followed by a DUI arrest that was a result of the pain medication he was taking during his recovery. Woods spent 6 months recovering from the surgery before he was even able to take full swings, and spent some time in rehab to control his pain medication issues as well. Though through all of that, the 40-year-old 14-time major winner is playing golf once again. Tiger said, "For me, I thought I did great. To come out here and score like I did, it was nice." Our athlete of the week today is freshman basketball player Reed Smith. Reed averaged a double-double over the past week with 15 points and 10 rebounds during the Panthers' hot 4-0 start. Jess Metter got together with Reed for a little competition.
Thanks, Tim. I'm here with Chapman Athlete of the Week, Reed Smith, a freshman on the basketball team. So I heard you're pretty good at getting boards, so I brought my own.
We're each getting 5 shots on the skateboard. I'm going to be moving across the court, and she's just going to be standing on the skateboard.
You ever ridden a skateboard before?
I have not ever ridden a skateboard before. If it was me there, I'd be embarrassed.
So you were chosen as Chapman's Athlete of the Week, but also SCIAC Men's Basketball Player of the Week. Which one is the greater honor? And feel free to lie.
Obviously, I'm honored by both, but I would say Chapman Athlete of the Week because, you know, you're competing against all the other sports, and it's always good to, you know, lift basketball up there a little bit.
That's the answer I wanted.
Hey, if she misses this, do you think it's over?
I mean, I thought it was over before we started, so.
You recorded a double-double against New Rochelle. You're a freshman already getting double-doubles. What's your next step in bettering an already great career here?
Well, first of all, probably trying to get my turnovers down and then raising my free throw percentage. But it's come pretty easy so far early in the year because the other guys on the team are so good at making plays, and I pretty much just have to stand there and make layups.
You got a 4-0 start to the season, even without some of your star players from previous years. What's the plan for the rest of the season?
We're happy with the start, and we got a lot of good transfers from junior colleges, so we're pretty deep. And obviously our goal this year is to win the SCIAC and then get into the NCAA tournament.
So athletes remain undefeated. Thank you so much, Reed, for joining us. And Tim, before you make fun of me, just know that I did better than you did against Jacob Isabel. Back to you.
Whoa. Jess, come on. Did you come up with some type of advanced metrics that are able to compare the two results of made-up contests? Because unless you have, I think that's maybe still up in the air. Another athlete and another loss for our hosts. Congrats on the award, Reed, and keep balling out there. A sport we don't usually cover, but being that I'm from San Diego, it is near and dear to my heart. The World Surf Tour is making headlines this week as they crowned a new women's champion yesterday in Hawaii. Australian surfer Tyler Wright has clinched her second world title in as many years after a big win that sent her to the semifinals at the Maui Women's Pro yesterday. Wright entered the competition in second place on the 2017 Women's World Championship Tour, but after wildcard challenger Brisa Hennessy knocked out first-place Sally Fitzgibbons, Wright was able to defeat Hennessy in the quarterfinal round and clinch back-to-back world championships. Possibly the most remarkable thing about Wright's win is that she accomplished it with an injured MCL that she tore off the bone during preparation for an event in Portugal back in October. Wright persevered and continued to compete on the tour with a knee brace, and she was rewarded with her second world title. Wright said, "It just feels good, and I'm just so glad I get to win here in such great waves." Closer to home, some of our Chapman athletics teams will be competing this weekend and next week. So no home games this weekend, as women's basketball will be at UC Santa Cruz tomorrow to take on the Banana Slugs in an afternoon matchup. Men's basketball travels to La Sierra tomorrow night for a 7:45 tip-off, no Panther sports, for a few days after that until men's and women's basketball play again on Wednesday. The guys will be traveling to Pomona-Pitzer while the ladies will take on the Sage Hens at home. That's all for me here on the Best Campus Sports Show for the last time this semester. I'm Tim Wolf. Now, if you would excuse me, there's a swell coming in, and I'm going to get out in the water. You stay classy, Orange County. Caitlin, take it away.
Thanks, Tim. Well, looks like it's time for Mia Thermopolis to step off her royal throne because there's a new princess in town. Just kidding. Meghan Markle is now officially engaged to Prince Harry of England, and even though I'm crying inside because I lost my final chance of ever taking the crown, Meghan proves to be quite the fan favorite, not unlike royal icon of class Duchess Kate Middleton. Markle is a Los Angeles native and has already spent a lot of time underneath the spotlight, playing smaller roles in popular shows such as Suits, Fringe, Castle, CSI Miami, and even the movie Horrible Bosses. However, Markle has never received attention quite like this since her relationship with Prince Harry started. Being the first American princess of both African American and Caucasian ethnic descent, she has admittedly struggled with the media's focus on the color of her skin, initially calling it disheartening.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm really just proud of who I am and where I come from, and we have never put any focus on that.
The new princess will be baptized in the Church of England to become a British citizen, and the couple will be married in St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle this May. It has not been confirmed yet whether or not she will remain an Anglican or renounce her American citizenship altogether. Congratulations to the happy couple. And I suppose I better take off this crown too. But, you know, not until the wedding in May. I wonder who's going to sing at their wedding, though. Maybe a Grammy-nominated artist? Musicians everywhere woke up to the sweet sound of Grammy nominations this week. Our reporter Jessica Metter has all the details.
Singer-songwriter Andra Day announced the highly anticipated list of nominees for the 60th Grammy Awards on CBS on Tuesday. The snubs and surprises are many, so let's break it down. Starting with the biggest award of the night, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Lorde, Bruno Mars, and Childish Gambino are facing off against each other for Album of the Year. This is the first time since 1999 there is no white male nominated in this category. The Grammys have been under fire for their lack of diversity over the years, so an absence of white men in the top category this year could signify a greater change in the organization. Everyone thought this would be a huge year for women at the Grammys, with career-defining albums from powerhouses like Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, and Katy Perry. But none of these women's made the cut on this year's list of nominees. And while Lady Gaga received nominations for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Pop Solo Performance, she was shut out from the top 3 categories. And although she landed a spot in the group of nominees for Album of the Year, Lorde's Melodrama was only nominated in that one category. And the love is in short supply for 2 usual Grammy darlings, Ed and Taylor. Though Taylor Swift's reputation didn't make the Grammys eligibility cutoff this year, she had 3 of her own songs still in the running, including Look What You Made Me Do. But it received 0 nominations, not even for Best Music Video. Ed, who was a favorite for an Album of the Year nom, appears to have lost his spot to Childish Gambino. And while this year presented more snubs than surprises, there was one unexpected nod in the Best Spoken Word Album category for Bernie Sanders. That's right, 2016's Democratic presidential hopeful may have lost out in the White House, but he managed to score his first Grammy Award nomination thanks to a book he penned about his campaign. As for winners, we'll have to wait until January 28th when the awards air on CBS to find out.
While the nominations answered a lot of my questions, I do actually have one more. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Because you look like an angel. Get it? The 2017 Victoria's Secret fashion show was this week. Duh.
Angels and supermodels alike strutted the runway this Tuesday in Shanghai, China, decked out in their Victoria's Secret undergarments and themed decor. Creative director Olivier Roustan explains that he went out of his comfort zone this year with a punk theme. Despite the initial turmoil in getting the show on its feet, as models including Gigi Hadid dropped out due to visa problems and Katy Perry couldn't make it either, the event itself proved to be a success. The jaw-dropping list of performers and supermodels at the show also included Harry Styles, Bella Hadid, Adriana Lima, Karlie Kloss, and Alessandra Ambrosio. Attention was also on the Chinese model Ming Xi, who took an unfortunate tumble on the catwalk. She, however, handled it gracefully, maintaining composure, but broke into tears off stage. Overall, the annual show has been getting rave reviews as women across the world feel empowered and inspired by these beautiful and confident Victoria's Secret angels.
And I know I feel empowered and inspired to go hit the gym after Thanksgiving break last week. Gotta run. Back to you, Matt and Alexis.
A Chapman student is spreading Christmas cheer for the holidays and making these students' wishes come true. I got to catch up with her and tell her story. With the hustle and bustle of the holiday season, we can often forget the meaning of the holidays. This Chapman University student reminds us the reason for the season starts with giving.
We got about 1,200 letters from children at a school in Santa Ana, and it's children whose families can't afford to get them Christmas presents, so they write a letter asking for something, and we give them to donors who buy presents for them.
Samara's mother is the founder of the nonprofit group called Direct Effect Charities, the charity leading this event.
Many companies have done many hundreds of letters, and oftentimes they deliver the gifts to the school, which I think is a wonderful idea because you get to see the children and meet the children and kind of get a feeling of what you're doing, and that's one of the things behind the name Direct Effect. We believe in directly affecting people, and when you can actually see what you've done and know the good that has come of it, it really makes a big difference.
This year, I'm doing the Letters to Santa program at Chapman, which I've done in Chicago for about 13 years now, so we brought that here.
The letters to Santa were distributed amongst Chapman Greek life and beyond in order to fulfill the wishes of the young students. Samara has been collecting the gifts from students in her dorm room until they will be received by Santa and given to Madison Elementary School.
It's really emotional being at the school that day. Every year I've gone, I've cried in the past, and it's really nice to see the effect you've had when you watch the kids open the presents.
If you'd like to participate in the cause, it's not too late. Extra wrapped presents like this are encouraged to be delivered by Monday, December 4th to Madison Elementary in Santa Ana. Reporting from Chapman University, Alexis Rodriguez, Chapman News.
Alexis, that event sounds so amazing. I'm very jealous. And you're going to be there next Friday, right?
I will be there. I'll be there live for our last show. And actually, President Strupa is dressing up as Santa, so it's going to be amazing. I might cry. We'll see.
Okay. Well, for sure. You can watch that here live, Chapman News, on our last show next Friday. But as for now, follow us on social media at Chapman News on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget YouTube.
And thank you so much for tuning in to Chapman News. We hope you have a great weekend, kicking off the best and last month of the year and our birthday month.
Yeah, we're both turning 21, so happy Friday.